Good morning. Hi, everybody. I hope everyone's having a good day. Beautiful sunny day here in the suburbs of Chicago in the Midwest. It is quite lovely. And we're back to work on more painting. And I'm excited about continuing with this guy. Started him last stream Monday. That was this week. Wow. Boy, this time goes by. Anyway, I hope you got your coffee. I've got mine here for sure. I'm Lynell Ingram, artist and streamer and mental health advocate and all these things. Do a lot of things. I work in a lot of mixed media, but I'm working on acrylic painting today. And I'm trying to keep it looser than what I've done in some of my last few paintings. And after this one, maybe I'll go back to watercolor. It feels like it's been a little while since I worked with watercolor. I haven't had enough coffee today yet, so apologies. And I'm also seeing my streaming software telling me that I have been dropping a few frames, and I apologize for that. I hope that it will be okay. I'm gonna have to do some messing around, because it did kind of occur to me right before I hit the go live button today of something that I think I gotta change with my Wi-Fi settings that will help. That last week some weird stuff got reset and there's just something I can go in and change, but I didn't have the time to do it before today. So for next week, hopefully things will be outstanding in terms of our speeds and it will be all good. So fingers crossed, we'll be good today. I know that my last stream on Monday, there were a couple moments that glitched a bit. So hoping it goes well. And then real quick, we are in middle November, right? Is it? What's the date? Oh my goodness. Crazy. So, lately, as in the last few years, about this time of the year, a piece of artwork that I did kind of goes a little viral out in the world on its own. I think it's awesome, but it's a print that's All the Cool Girls Vote. An art piece, and I don't have the original anymore. It was sold, but this is a shirt that I have of it, and I do have prints, but I don't have them close by to me at the moment to grab. But this is the artwork. All the Cool Girls Vote, which is great for encouraging people to get out there and vote, and I really love it. And I actually have a video on my channel of making that painting from a few years ago. So I will have to put that back up. But that piece, it's going around currently mostly without attribution, but I do have that available, the shirt and the art print available for sale in my Etsy shop, which is called Mental Health Matters in my links. So if anybody's curious about it or wants to check it out, it's there. And you can go back in my my time-lapse and art videos and you can find a video of me making that piece. And it's an old one. I'm probably not like exceptional quality while I was still kind of learning the ropes about making videos. But I still think it holds up. More or less. It's, you know, I love watching people make art, whatever the thing is. It's a mixed media piece with watercolor and colored pencil, primarily. Yeah. Okay, so. Okay, I'm ready. I don't think I made my coffee as strong as I usually like. So I'm gonna build my portfolio here. I kind of tried to set up the camera so you can see what I'm doing here a bit. If I had another camera and a less chaotic setup, it wouldn't be the worst thing for me to get like a dedicated palette camera. But I'd have to figure a few things out for that to work. And I think I'm going to work at doing some changing around in here because it's very chaotic in here. I've done a lot of work to try to make this space a very functional workspace. And a lot of it's just my fault in the sense that I have a tendency to have all piles of everything I might possibly be working on or thinking about or whatever. I keep it out. It's very like ADHD kind of a trait. And I do that. And there's just things everywhere. I don't like to put things away when it's still like in process on some level, because the minute I put it away, I forget it exists. So I need to do some changing around. And ever since I redid my studio, which I did a video of making my studio up, like changing how my desks are arranged and swapping out things. Since then, I've made some very minor tweaks. I like switched where my computer was around to the other side. And, well, that was the main thing, I think. But I think I want to change a few things with the way the wall storage is. Primarily the wall that's right behind my camera. And if I step to the side here, you can kind of see it. The wall back here, that is currently a bulletin board with just a lot of random stuff on it. And I've got some of my paints and supplies here. I've got a couple of taller shelves in the corner that stand up on there, and I think I'd rather have those over here. Since I do a lot of my painting right here, that would allow me more variation in being able to set up my camera. And a little more space. And I could, in theory, get another camera and have it over where I would put my palette. So I'm thinking about making some of these minor changes. It's going to be a little bit aesthetic and a little bit functional, both. So yeah, hopefully maybe this weekend, we'll see. Come on, Payne's Gray, let's go. Nice fancy new tube. Although I did think I've used it a couple times because I had forgotten I had an old one that needed to be used up, but we've used it. It's good to go. All right, a little bit of that. Last week when I started the figure, I primarily used the white Payne's Gray, my magenta tone, and some red with a little bit of yellow. And I started putting a little green in the background. And so I am going to do... I really spent some time looking at my figure and like kind of decide, like there's a few tweaks that need to happen to make her, like to fix some things that are kind of bothering me with the figure. Some pretty minor stuff. So that should be pretty quick, but then it'll be starting to add in things around her, elements that are going to go around, and that should be some fun, I hope. Or stress, you know. That's how these things go. But yeah, okay, we're gonna go cadmium-free yellow light next. I might have another one, but I'm getting low. I don't know. I'll have to check my drawers. I'm probably gonna need to make an art supply run relatively soon. Which is always fun, but stressful because it's expensive, you know? Okay, I need some red. And just a wee bit to start with. I can always add more. I don't like to waste. It's not like putting oil paints down where you can use them more the next few days. Gonna do a little bit of cobalt blue. Oh, dropped the cap. Hey, we're only 10 minutes in, not even, and I already dropped something. Woohoo! I live up to my promises, people. Okay. Blue and one more thing. Is that it? I just had a thought. Yeah. I might add some turquoise or aqua, red aqua in a bit, but we'll see. I'm gonna add on my chromium oxide green and then we can get going. I'm also going to throw on some slow drying medium. And this time I think I'm gonna go with a gel that I have and see how that compares to using the, I've been using this, it's kind of a fluidy medium. Liquitex slow dry medium. And today, I think I'm gonna try my acrylic medium retarder gel, and this is a Utrecht one. There we go. So this is, it's very jelly-like. Got like a consistency of loose Vaseline. So I'm just going to add that in onto my palette, and I'll mix it in with my paints as I go along, and I'm mixing. I'm not going to pre-mix all my, what do you call it? All my colors before, like I was. We're just going to jump in. I'm just going to lay it down and we're going to jump in. And I tend to, when I'm doing things like this, building my palette, adding on mediums, I tend to just use like the cheaper plastic palette knives. I do have a few nicer ones that I really like. They've been through some things. They're quite old. This one I've just had for like 15 years. And this one was one that had been my dad's, so this one dates back to like the 60s. Still work great. They get a little corrosion on them, so I don't know. I just gotta clean that off. I have a series of just these like slightly lower. They're metal still, but they're good for their own things. Kind of like a little pastry knife. Okay, brush. Doing figure. This whole painting is mostly smaller-ish brushes. So I'm gonna grab a few. Bring over. And... yeah, nothing too small. I did grab, yeah, I'm probably not gonna work on, well, maybe if I do, I'm gonna do the fingers. Okay, so yeah, we'll have a little guy. So I got a few brushes that are assortment of round, flats, and one little filbert. So that's what I'm gonna have at my ready to go. And to start with, I'm gonna go with my larger brush to do some mixing and to make some of the bigger corrections, so that'll go fast. And we'll start there. And I'm going to, there's a couple spots where I'm gonna kind of like cover up a little bit where I painted too far in, so I'm just mixing a shade that's close to what I have in the background just to help me out there. Most of that will get covered up with things over time, but it's just visually gonna help me know where things go and how I'm doing. Would it be better if I zoomed in a bit? So you could see if I'm doing like more detailed things. Keep it from being too much light on there also. Light's good, but I don't want to blast out the camera. Okay. I can zoom in if that would be better than seeing the whole situation. Or at least a little bit. Let's see. So it's sort of like a choice between do we want to see the palette or not, and I think probably more interesting to, sorry, is fussing around there. Right. Okay. Technical difficulties. Hold on, guys. I got this. We got this. Trying to see what I'm doing. What I'm affecting. I don't have, like, it's not the most expensive fancy tripod, so the adjustments are a little clunky. There, maybe that for now. We'll give it a try. Okay, sorry for that fussiness. All right, continuing with a quick round of corrections. I draw on with a soft pencil when I know what corrections I want to make. When I'm figuring that out, I use something like a pastel pencil or just a real soft lead to work with. Because then it goes on easy, but it's not problematic in staying where you don't want it to. You're not going to see it through the paint. I can wipe it off easily with a damp paper if I decide it's time for it to go. And again, I'm not too worried about what the cover-up looks like. More so, it's just getting things in the right place so visually I know as I continue with this painting what actually stops and starts where. How it's supposed to be. So if I'm missing anything for cover-ups, and then there's a little bit more that's like additions that I'll have to do. I don't think so. All right. Making progress. Okay. And now for making additions within the body or corrections within the body and the flesh, I'm going to switch to a bit of a smaller brush. I'm going to stick with a flat brush for now. We're shaped just about half the size of the other one. Okay. Kind of just filling in at the moment. I can add back some subtleties and highlights once I have this where I like it. biggest correction I have is going to be the hand. So I knew while I was painting it that it wasn't right. But I can go into there and start making corrections on it. This just feels like a good day to work on art. It's just a really nice weather, crisp fall day, sun shining. I'm not so sure it gets much better. But I love fall, very much so. I'd had the hand, first of all, way too small. The arm was too short. And there were some other things that can be hard to kind of put your finger on when you're like right in it, working on it, especially well, you know, when I'm streaming, I try not to have a lot of dead air, like a ton of me just sitting here for 10 minutes just staring at it and thinking on it and deciding what I want to change. So sometimes when I need to make a really thoughtful correction, it's helpful for me to just do that off the air, so to speak. Hands shaky today. Which is not unusual. It does make doing things in a careful way sometimes a little bit more challenging. Okay. Okay. Isn't it kind of funny how sometimes when you try to make something simple, it actually becomes a little bit more complicated? I don't know if that's just me, but it's like every mark matters then. All right. I think that this gel medium is actually, I'm preferring it. It does feel like it's giving me a little bit more control and a little bit more payoff than that liquid one was. I forgot I had this one. So kind of switch over probably in terms of what I'm using more often. Okay, I'm kind of just gonna check for where I need there to be real bright highlights, as long as I've mixed this really, really light tone I have here on my brush. Just where do I have some payoff to use that? Okay, that kind of gives me my lightest lights pretty well. There's another thing where I'm not too concerned about some of what's happening around the hand, because I'm actually going to have something behind the hand once it's done. Like she's going to have holding kind of something. That's the intention. Anyway. Alright. That's a little better. One of the things I mean to get when I go next to the art supply store is a very large container of brush soap. I've forever been buying the little teeny tiny ones, and I go through them so fast that it's kind of it's a little silly. But you know, you do what you can when you're on a budget. But I have a gift card to use, and and it might not sound like the most fun thing to spend it on, but hey, there's nothing like good, clean, well cared for brushes. Might get a new brush or two too, but before I do anything, I need to do like a proper inventory of what I have for my paints and see what I need. What needs to be replaced, what needs to be bought. Am I good for painting surfaces? And that kind of thing too. I have some interesting alternative surfaces that I'm planning on using. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. A big old cutting board that I've been holding on to for a long time. I see something. I see something here. So really, to get that ready to go is not going to be that big of a deal. I need to just sew it. I'll probably sand it a bit. And one of these days is probably a good day to go out and do that. Go outside and sand it. And then once that's sanded and cleaned up really well, then I can add some gesso onto it. And then I'll have some more surface to paint on. Okay, step back for a second, take a look. This is all way too dark. And I've been kind of hesitant to change much about that because I know I'm going to be painting over some of it, but just for the sake of not hating it, let's... tomorrow night I'm kind of excited to go see my niece has artwork in a show for that's area high schoolers. So I'm gonna go. I'm excited to see her new work, what she's been doing. In the past, she's done a lot of photography. They have like digital photography classes in school, which is cool because that sure didn't exist when I was in school. Yeah, I get so excited to see when they get excited about creative work, about making things, whatever it is, anything. Always makes me happy. That's the kind of thing that makes your brushes not last a long time for you. See, I couldn't do that if I wasn't using this particular gel medium. I wouldn't be able to kind of rub into the paint like that. It would just be there, it would be stuck. So quite pleased with how this is performing and behaving. Okay, this is really flat here. Okay. Almost. Oh, good morning, Jim. Hello, I didn't see you there. Getting absorbed in what I'm doing here, I guess. Which isn't the worst thing, I suppose. It's kind of the best when you really get lost in your work and just time just vanishes while you're doing it. That's kind of my favorite. Those are my favorite moments where you're just in that like deep focus. It's almost meditative. Especially if things are kind of like working for you, somewhat at least. Nose feels weird to me. This photo that I'm working off of has got to date to I believe it's early 30s. Like an old tintype photo. It looks like it's interesting to paint off of something. And because of that, there's like a lot of information that is not very... not the clearest, you know. You have to kind of fill it in and make some guesses and assumptions based on what you know about anatomy and experience. Because on my screen I have the face about this big and the pixels are like this big. So it's a lot of kind of just a bit of guessing and filling in what it seems like it is. More so than like a very, very accurate picture of what actually is, probably. I don't know why this just popped in my head, but when I was off a little break last week, is this blurry? I feel like it's blurry. Bear with me. Yeah, we're blurry. I apologize, guys. I messed that up probably when I was changing the camera. Sorry. I think I have everything all set. Marie Louise, hello! Thank you for joining. Good to see you this morning. I was just randomly remembering how over the weekend when I was up in Wisconsin with my mom and my sister, my sister is an expert traveler because that's her job. She flies airplanes. And so she always has everything set, everything very smartly done. But she has like a thing where she can hook her phone to her to the TV there to play things. And she played the movie. She has the Disney. So we watched some very amazing old movies that I remember from my childhood. This first one that I'm going to mention, or the first two, are not that I saw them when they were out in my childhood. I am not that old. I'm not young, but I'm not that old. But The Cat from Outer Space, if you haven't seen that movie, it's like 1970 something. It's a trip. It's pretty silly, cute. We watched that, and that one, because I remember seeing it as a kid, and the cats who play the role of the titular cat are both Abyssinians, and my cat is a obnoxious little Abyssinian butt that I love. It was cute. It's very cute. It's silly and ridiculous, but it's a cat that talks from outer space. I mean, what's not to love? And then to continue down this weird path of nostalgia, because we had a decent amount of downtime. There was that's one of the reasons we like to be there, is it's time to just chill and not be running around with nothing in particular to do. So reading and just hanging out. But one of the other ones was Darby O'Gill and the Little People, and now that one's really going back. That one came out in the 50s. Well, yes, we all do need a little bit of silly and cute. Abyssinian guinea pig. Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that was a thing. That sounds adorable. That's awesome. Yeah, Darby O'Gill and Little People. That's a good one to watch around, it's 1950 something. It's Irish, so, pull it up on St. Patrick's Day. He was called Prince. Aw, that's a cute name. And fitting for a little Abyssinian. Very cute. What was it? Yeah. Very young, strapping Sean Connery. Good music. Freaked me out when I was a kid. Like, scared the pants off of me, because there's like a few legitimately creepy scenes in there. It's like leprechauns and banshees and stuff. Myths. It's like just myths, Irish myths type of movie. It's fun too. And then the last one, the other true blast from the past, was Flight of the Navigator. And I came on this line of conversation just now because for some reason that movie just popped into my head while I was working on this, and I don't know why. I don't know what lines crossed to get me there, but Flight of the Navigator. Boy, I don't think I'd seen that one since I was really little. Very young Sarah Jessica Parker. I don't know who else is in it exactly. The names of the people I'm not sure of. But I think I might be about done with the figure, at least for now. How about that? Yeah, those old movies are a trip. Sometimes and since I've been home, yeah, young Sean Connery. He was handsome, for sure. My obsession with weird movies and scary movies. I watched one from, I think it was 1979, and it's David Cronenberg, who love David Cronenberg movies. They're so fantastically weird and interesting. All right, which brush next? Well, we watched The Brood. And that is a very weird one. I really like one of the actors in it, and I don't know his name. There's another movie from that era called Burnt Offerings, which he is one of the stars in. Incredibly good actor. And he's one of the primary characters in this. And it goes places, boy, you don't expect. And I enjoy it because it's like psychology. There's this whole experimental treatment thing that this guy's doing, and that this doctor is doing. That's what that actor plays, the doctor. And there's a husband of the woman who's in the therapy, being held, like, kept there for the therapy program. and it's very contentious. It's very like experimental and suspicious in it. And it's funny because when they showed some of the what the therapy idea was, it's a lot like something they call family systems, which is still, which is a legit therapy thing that I kind of recognized. I've never done it or participated in it, but I've read about it because I love psychiatry, psychology. It's so interesting to me. And what was I going to say about that? There goes my thought process. I can't think about two things at the same time, that's for sure. Oh yeah, David Cronenberg. I mean, his thing is kind of body horror, which it's just silly and fun. But yeah, family constellations, right? That's right. It was I mean, it was a whole different take on it because it was like, I mean, it's a kind of a crazy movie, and the premise of it, I mean, it's from 1979. I guess that's not really a spoiler too much. I'm not going to give it all away, but it sort of comes down to this whole thing where this doctor is trying to get people to release. It's all about rage. He's released their rage through like having it literally physically comes out of their bodies somehow. And it gets really weird. But if you like weird, if you've ever been a fan of David Cronenberg, I'd recommend it. The Brood. What I like about his movies, even though he does kind of weirdo body horror stuff, is that they're thoughtful. He does, like, the scary things in his movies are always representations of, it's a way to talk about real things. And those are my favorite kind of scary movies, so to speak. When they're actually, the movie just, and the like metaphor for monster as metaphor, whatever. That's what I enjoy the most. Oh, there's Watson. Did you come to say hi? Oh, here. Oh, before he tries to jump on my back. Here, say hi to everybody. There's my good boy. He's very silly. There. There's a chair for you. Okay, now, I think we'll get into some color, perhaps? What am I doing? What am I doing next? This is where things get, like, stressful, but also fun, because I have approximate ideas of what I'm doing here. They're not completely fleshed out. So when I'm looking over there, I'm looking at my computer screen because I have a reference for my figure up. I have a reference for some of the things I'm going to be doing in the background. My cat's knocking things over. It's not just me. And I have, of course, my stream that I can look at and see. So it's a little chaotic. Alrighty. Alright, as long as Watts not actually physically jumping on top of me while I'm standing here painting, he can do all the mess making he wants. When he's doing that, that makes for much more, I guess it makes for an amusing stream. But it could be a little frustrating. I love him anyway. I've never had a cat that would literally try to jump up on my shoulders before. He doesn't quite fit. My shoulders aren't big enough for his, 15.25-pound body to stand on, but he tries. Man, you should see him if I try to do, like, yoga or something. That's really funny. It's like the, if you've ever seen the whole goat yoga stuff, that's my cat. He thinks it's hilariously fun to try to, like, jump on me and leapfrog over me and attack. Because he thinks, I don't know, I guess that we're playing or whatever. He just thinks it's weird. So he keeps it interesting around here. But it mostly comes down to the fact that he thinks it's lunchtime pretty soon. He has no concept or appreciation for daylight savings time, as one could imagine. So me doing something at a time that interferes with him getting fed is not appreciated so much. As you can imagine. I'm going to do some fill-in sections that we're probably going to get covered up, but just because I want to be able to add certain bits that are going to need that. And some things that were looking to me like maybe they were too dark in the figure, as I add darker color elsewhere, that will start to make more sense. Just having your tea while watching and listening, that sounds pretty nice. Which reminds me, I should take a sip of my coffee before it's completely cold. Beautiful, thank you very much. Off to choir now. Great to watch, and I'll catch you soon. Oh, I hope so. Thanks for joining, Maria. Have a great day and have an awesome choir. I need to warm up on my coffee pretty soon. It's 11. Oh my goodness. Making good time on things. Sometimes when you have a plan about something, it kind of pays off a little bit. can, if you're not careful. Sort of like the phrase, like, if you're not careful, you can learn something every day. One thing I haven't decided for this piece yet is if I want to add in collage. And I'm leaning towards wanting to do so. But I haven't made a definitive decision on that yet. And I actually, even the piece that I finished last on stream, the one that was for Halloween, basically for October, I was sitting and looking at that and wondering about doing a few more bits to it. I haven't decided for certain with that one either, but I might. And if I do anything else to that one, I will make sure to show you guys, because you've been with me through the entire process of making that piece. So I will keep you in the loop. Group project, yeah. Group effort. Okay. Well, it's kind of a fun start for that part of the painting. So a couple other things that I know I'm going to add in. I think, though, okay, I'm gonna add, some of the things I'm going to paint in that are going to overlap with the background are going to be smaller, smaller line work. So I'm going to paint in some more of the background. Maybe the way that I've done this green. I don't know that everything will stay that green, but some variations on that will give me something to work off of. And to do that, I am going to go to a larger brush than my little half-inch. What do we got? What do we got here? This poor brush. This one might have to get demoted from being a nice big filbert, because, well, not only is the handle completely falling apart, but it's, as best as I've tried to kind of fix this, it's really quite frayed. If you can see, it's just not, doesn't give me a nice line anymore. And this brush was, the reason it is this way, it wasn't a cheap brush, probably. It's a Winsor & Newton. I've had it a really long time, so I can't tell you I remember what I paid for it. But it'd be being a bad brush caretaker, because there's been plenty of times in my life where I've just been negligent of taking care of them. And there are still some times where I honestly just forget something. Leave something in water for far longer than I intended to, and then I absolutely panic when I realize I've done it, because I try to be very good about it now because of having done things like that. You know, brushes aren't cheap. Don't want to be wasting them. Don't want to be having to replace them constantly. Oh my goodness, there's Watson trying to climb my back. Hey, you. Hey. Hey. Oh my, hello. You're very cute. What are you doing? Okay, you have very sharp claws. Oh my gosh, I wish you could see what is happening right now. Oh, there he goes. There he goes. Up on my shoulders. Hi. I know my shoulders aren't very broad for you, are they? You gonna help me paint? Hmm? What you think? See, this is what I was talking about. Cat on my shoulders. Except I have to be kind of, more than a little bent over for him to not just fall off. So, I wouldn't call this ideal, but it's pretty funny. See? Cat butt on my shoulder. I always tell him this is not exactly what a good studio assistant does, but... You're very cute, mister. Alright, I'll try to keep his butt out of the way of the camera, too. What do you think? You want to get your paw in there and help me paint? I don't think you'd like it if I had to wash it, though. See? I got help. All the help. You're so cute. You're very cute, mister. Yes, you are. I'm a funny guy. Hey, see that camera? Oh, down? Okay. Ready? There you go, in the chair. Down you go. No? Oh, okay. He just wants to stay there and lay down. Look at this guy. Oh my goodness. And here's the thing. He only does this when I'm streaming, so I think it's being a bit of a ham. This is not the most comfortable position to paint in, Mr. Watson. If you could get more upright on my shoulders, it'd be a little easier. I need like a cat caddy I can wear so he can ride up there. It's so strange. That cat. That's why I love him. Cats are the best, kinda. I'm not super concerned about how perfect many of these edges are right along here with the body. Some of that's going to get covered up. But I want a relatively clean background to work on where it's not all I don't want there to be exposed canvas shining through anything I do on here. If I can help it. Where did I do with my... Yeah. Losing things, dropping things. Okay. much of what I'm doing here is not super important. At least as far as the background goes. I'm not too very concerned about it. Okay. A few more spots that I still want to work. Bless you. Watson sneezed. I used to have a cat that would sneeze quite a bit, and I would always say bless you to the cat. He started saying bless you back. When I would sneeze, he would do the little chattery meow. So cute, so funny. They're so smart. They're all so different. Now the more medium that I have in my paint, the more transparent it becomes. The less medium, the more opaque. But I am really enjoying the level of control I'm getting out of this one. I'm glad that I pulled it off the shelf. It was something that I'd bought, but apparently used very little of. It's almost brand new. And just, again, it's my Utrecht brand acrylic retarder gel medium. And just having it kind of across my palette, and I can pull into it when I'm mixing my paints as I want. And it really does allow me to actually do more mixing on the canvas. I don't know. I hope you guys can't hear that. My cat's outside the door yelling now. He's just looking for all the attention right now. Goodness. So dramatic. See, he thinks he's getting a late lunch because he still has not adjusted to daylight savings. And if you know cats, they always think they're starving to death if they haven't eaten in the last 2 hours. I get a little quiet when I'm thinking and focusing. Trimmed her nose a little too much. I'll fix that before I get too much further with anything else. Okay, we're almost to where I need to be for things being covered in the necessary places on the background. Just about. Okay, let me fix the nose before I do anything else. There's just a tiny, tiny little bit lost on there. Just a little tiny bit too much. But even just adding that background in there makes some of the shading on the body makes much more sense. But she looks a little bit like an alien. Hold on. We got this. We got this. I need to finally put together the mall stick that I have all the supplies to make. I have everything I need to do it. And there, just that tiny little dab of paint made so much difference. God, my cat is just so dramatic. He's trying to convince somebody that he is literally starving to death right this very minute. Probably have scratches all over my back from his little escapades earlier of trying to ride along while I'm painting. What up, baby cat? Wear yourself out yet? No. Hmm. I feel like I wish I had a brush that was just like 2 millimeters wider, maybe, in this exact shape, and that's something that I'll have to consider on my next art supply run, as I mentioned. Just gotta keep things reasonable in the end, you know? Uh-oh, he's back. Hi, baby. You pulling my shirt off again? Ah, you have very sharp nails. You do. And I just cut them. How does they so sharp again? Hmm? Ah, ow, ow. Okay. Oh, you're stuck in my skin. Baby, come on. That one hurt. Behave, you. You just be patient. You just stay there and be patient, stinker. You're such a ham. Yeah, you are. Impatient is the word. Oh. Jeez Louise. Okay. Nope. That moment where you forget what color was on your brush. Yeah. All right, where am I here? I think I know what's throwing me off. I've cut a little, not far enough in here. Okay. All right, give me 1 second, Bill. Okay, I think that's better. Almost. Feels a little too hard lined here. Oops. I think my fussing about with the face has actually created some problems. I had it pretty well for a minute, and now, and when it's so small, the smallest little line or mark can make such a difference, you know? So that's kind of an interesting thing. It's gotten rather flat again. Something about the proportions of my subject's face that feels so unusual to me that I seem to struggle with quite getting right. Apologies, I know I just bumped the microphone there. I felt it. And I'm getting dangerously close to overworking here, so I think I'm gonna stop messing around with her face for now. And I can take a look at it more closely. Later on. But yeah, we're gonna leave it about here for now. Yeah, definitely on something that's changed the nature of the face, and it's definitely sitting a bit weird with me. Okay, okay. Leaving it, dropping my brush on it. All right, one more thing. One more tiny, maybe. Well, that just got weird. That did not help. Anyway, as goes in the creative process, it's never pretty. And there's a lot of times where things seem to get worse before they get better. And that's just the reality of it. We work through it. I think that's the difference anything makes is, can you work through it? Are you willing to push through and figure out what it is? And me again saying, oh my gosh, I'm gonna drop my brush and not work on this anymore because I'm gonna screw it up, and here I go, still messing around. I just like to tempt fate. Bring on the chaos. I deserve it. Here's the thing, I'm not painting with a lot of impasto. I'm not building up color thickly, so I can cover things up and retouch if I decide I need to. I'm not feeling like I'm at that point here, but unless I'm building up like heavy brush work, that leaves a texture of my brush strokes, that makes it more difficult to do that sort of thing, to change or correct anything. But since that's not the case, I'm confident that we will be fine and I will figure it out. It is a little better. Not quite right, but pretty close. I think I made her look like she has a little bit more of a smile than I actually want her to have. What's that right there? Maybe. She still looks like she's smiling. I mean, that's not a problem. You know, I'll figure it out. I will. I'll figure it out. Okay, let's see here. Now I'm going to start adding in another area, which is the kind of thing that, you know, gives you a heart attack to do, because it is going to cover up a little bit of my character. Okay. Oh, deep breaths. It's all going to be fine. Let me grab some. This is where I'm going to grab my bright aqua green color a little bit. Add that to my palette. Get on there. Okay. For some reason, this color is like super thick. Do you see the hesitation? I probably ought to switch up my music, huh? I don't know if it's my playlist that I have in the background is getting old. I had a different one on for October, of course, but I went back to the one I'd been using. This was just sort of some chill music. I imagine at this point things don't make a lot of sense yet in here, but I trust I have a plan. It's a rough plan, but it's a plan. And with a fairly decent sized brush, what is this? 6? Yeah, this is a 6 round. You can get good points on it, and that's the advantage of taking care of your brushes, is that even with a brush this big, I can get a pretty decently fine line to draw. He's back again. Here's Watson Cat. No climbing on my back, please. It's quite painful, Mr. Claus. Right? Oh my. Y'all hear this? Very dramatic. You are very dramatic. I know, we're getting close to lunch, aren't we? Okay. I know, baby. I know. Okay. Well, as I mentioned before, this medium is great. My paint has not gotten as tacky as it often does at this stage of the game after painting for a couple of hours on my palette. It is getting tacky, but not in an unusable kind of fashion that sometimes it can. But this is just the start to what's going to build up. There's going to be a lot more happening, but I'm really kind of excited with where this is right now. Who would have thought? Who would have thought? So I am going to call it, because we're going on 2 hours here. And this is, yeah, as my paints start to not be so easy to work with. But I am still very happy with how things have progressed today. And I want to thank everybody for hanging out with me while I'm painting. I appreciate you very much. Thank you to everybody who watches my crazy streams and listens to me talk about ridiculous things while I paint and hangs out. I really appreciate you all. I want you to know. And I will be back at this on Monday. We'll continue with this painting and we'll see a lot of more fun things really start to develop. I'm really excited about what I'm starting to see come and a lot more to come. So if you think of it, please give me a like and a follow if you've made it this far in the video. And continue watching while I keep making things. This is the point. So, yeah. All right. I'm gonna go feed my cat before he tears down a wall in the apartment, and I hope everybody has an amazing day, amazing week. Yeah, have a great weekend to you too. Thank you so much, and hopefully I'll see you Monday. Bye!